37-24. Lions over Bengals. Josh? Christian? Screw the two of you for not being here for the post-game show. Welcome back to an all-new episode here at Let's Talk Lions. The boys are not in for the post-game show. Didn't even show up for the game. Didn't even show up to the Council of Elrond. They were like, hey, listen, we heard that the one great ring was found, but guess what? We don't care. We don't care. Well, that's on you. The end of Middle-earth is on you, Josh and Christian. We will see them next week for the post-game show. So post-game show here today, sponsored by Founders, brought to you by me. It's good to be here. Lions putting up 37. The Bengals with a garbage 24 points. Garbage 2 TDs at the end of that game. Quite frankly, there is so much to look at here. And I think going into this game, it was kind of like, oh, this is about to be a lamb to the slaughter. A little baby Bengal to the... I don't like that. I don't like what I was doing there. We're just going to move off of it. But it was the type of game where you look at it, you're like, there is not a chance the Lions are losing this. And it doesn't mean you grow complacent, but there's not a chance they lose. You're looking at it, you're like, they are going to win this all day. And if you're wondering, what Founders beer should you be drinking on Victory Monday? It's the All Day IPA by Founders. This thing comes in, you get like a solid 4.7%. It's the probably the last hot day of October. It's probably the last time you're going to mow your lawn. You might as well throw down with the All Day IPA by Founders. Ooh, it's crisp. It's citrusy. Josh, what do you think? Stupid idiot didn't show up. Christian, what do you think? You dumb little boy didn't show up. Guess we'll just have to find out next week what they think about the All Day IPA. But if I'm telling you, it's a simple session IPA. It's crisp. It's refreshing. It's light. But it's not too light. You know, it's not where it's like watered down nasty. That is a solid beer. And you could drink it all day. As you think about the Lions slaughtering the Bengals 37-24 all day long this Victory Monday. The Lions coming in at 4-1. It's crazy because, as I said in the pregame show, this is the game that, you know, even Christian, this was his game that he was most looking forward to. Lions, Bengals, figured it would be a shootout. And with Jake Browning, it has to be said, that man blew yesterday. He was as bad can get. He's not leading the receivers. He's throwing over their back shoulder while they're heading. Like, there were so many plays left out on the table for the Bengals, for Browning himself, that I started kind of feeling bad. You know, like walking into that game, the buddy that I watched it with, I said, hey, 2 picks. But the Lions with 3 interceptions in this game. In fact, you've got Alex Anzalone picking up that one ball where I don't know how Browning missed him. He's just right there. And even the announcers are like, oh, you know, tough to see. I'm like, no, he was not tough to see. Alex Anzalone was standing directly in front of the man. I don't know. But Alex Anzalone with a pick, Amik Robertson with a pick, and Kerby Joseph, of course, with a pick, which Terrion probably would have had the one that Kerby got. Like, Terrion was right there. Granted, maybe it would have gone over the back shoulder. He misses it. I don't know. All I know is Kerby is a ball hawk. That is what we were promised when he was drafted. We were told from the very beginning, the man's a ball hawk, and he has proven that by and large. But overall, man, there's a lot to be said, and I think it's Cincinnati is relying on T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, and obviously Trey Hendrickson a little bit, but they're relying on 2 wide receivers, and you cannot rely on wide receivers if you don't have a quarterback. I mean, without Joe Burrow there, you just feel it, you see it, the frustration, all of it. They're dead in the water. They're dead in the water. And it's funny, it's like, I think they have more of a shot than even the Baltimore Ravens with Lamar Jackson, obviously out with the hamstring injury. But you look at these 2 teams and you're like, bro, I don't know. The Lions are 3-0 in the AFC North. All they got to do is wipe out Aaron Rodgers to have that 4-0 AFC, NFC North record right there. But hey, listen, I'm just going to say it. A little bit of that mojo going to the Tigers. It's coming from Goff. It's coming from our man right here. Tigers in the ALDS, obviously 1-1 against Seattle. But let's get that little Goff candle going. David Montgomery David Montgomery, heck of a day. 18 carries, 65 yards, averaging 3.6 yards with a TD, not to mention throwing that TD to Brock right in the end zone. And it was so cool kind of seeing that story of his sister and everything going on and her being paralyzed, from, I believe they said, from the neck down. And obviously it's a return to home. And to throw that TD, like what I love is all the gadget plays, all the fun plays. We try to bust up the middle 2 times in a row. First down, second down, we're not going anywhere. And my buddy was like, man, this is when we add in that trick play. Let's get the element going. Bam. There it is. Wildcat, snap to Monty, tosses it out. It was a thing of beauty. And I loved seeing it for him and for his storyline going into that game. And Jahmyr Gibbs, 12 carries, 54 yards, averaging 4.5. And quite frankly, man, and not to mention Gibbs and Monty also now tying that record at 14 games with the two of them, each having a TD, seeing them tied with Dallas, right? It was Emmitt Smith and was it Emmitt Smith? I can't remember who held the record, but now it is tied. And by the end of this year, I mean, they're gonna put up, it'll probably be 17, 18, 19. I don't see them just stopping at 14 with each of them scoring in a game. If I have to guess, I'm going to go with 18 games, if not 20. They might hit the 20 mark, which is incredible. But what I'm thinking here, and one of my questions has to do with Goff. It's got to do with our man at the helm. At what point do people actually start recognizing, outside of Lions fandom, but even inside of Lions fandom, my question to you, that Goff is as good as it gets? That he is a premier quarterback. He's not landing at 12. He's not landing at 8. I look at him and I'm like, he's got to be a top 5 quarterback, whether people like it or not. I know he doesn't have the mobility and he doesn't have it in his legs. But when you look at him going 19 for 23, 258 yards, averaging 11.2 with 3 TDs, I'm at the point where I'm like, He finds St. Brown time and time again. He finds Laporta. Laporta having a beautiful first quarter, not to mention. Really seeing Laporta actually pop through, which was great. 5 receptions, 92 yards, 18.4 per with 1 TD along of 39. Like finding Laporta and getting Laporta back into this offense, which he was absent from last year, has been such a beautiful thing. Seeing that tight end come back in, the guy that we saw year 1, we didn't see him year 2, and now he's back full force year 3. It's a thing of beauty. Obviously, he had that injury a little bit last year, but I just don't think Ben Johnson used him. But when I look back at Jared Goff and I look at everything that he is doing and completing for the Lions, when are people going to recognize? When are people going to recognize and say, like, don't get me wrong, he has those games where it's like, 5 picks against Houston last year where everything goes wrong. Everything goes wrong. Even last year against Washington, everything goes wrong. But they're so far and few in between that I look at it and I'm like, the man is a leader of men. He leads the Detroit Lions. That game was the game that made him actually play with Detroit more games than he ever played with LA, and I love that. He is a Lion through and through, and so I'm just wondering, like, when people actually put respect on that name. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and it's almost like people are afraid to say that. Like it feels dirty. People pretend like oh, you can't really say that. No, you can. Goff is there. Yes, he doesn't have it in the legs where you watch guys like Allen or Mahomes and they're able to move and shift and get out of. But my man is a pure pocket passer who gets it done. QBR of 153 yesterday? I'm just saying. And I'll say it here, and I've said it from day one when we got him, and I'm going to say it to the very end when we win the Super Bowl with Jared Goff. He's the guy. He's the guy for Detroit. So stop counting him out. Just stop counting him out, man. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 8 receptions, 100 yards, 12.5. My man gets it done. And you know what's okay? So like, obviously, and this is something that Josh texted me about. My buddy here on the show texted me, and we're going to get into it this upcoming week, I'm sure. But basically, calling out Manu, calling out Giovanni Manu, saying, Manu's not it. Left tackle. Taylor Decker gets downgraded that day as doubtful on Sunday, just like, it ain't going to happen. So Manu gets the start at left tackle. Great day to get a start. Truly, in my opinion, against Trey Hendrickson, one of the best in the business to be able to say, all right, Manu, let's see what we can do. Watching him get that start, when you think about the game, he has 2 real blunders, both of them very costly, right? And that, was it the second drive, first quarter, with the Lions marching down the field, very costly because Trey Hendrickson gets in, and it's that forced sack, that strip fumble, forced fumble, strip sack, that they recover the ball because it bounced. It was a weird play, but hey, great play by Cincinnati, great play by them. But Manu botches that, right? And it's a problem. And then again, late in the game, I believe it was in the fourth quarter, could be wrong, could have been third, but no, it was in the fourth quarter where Manu again, and really Goff gets obliterated on that play. But that's just 2. That's just 2. And hey, man, 2 that go very wrong. But at what point are we looking at saying, yeah, but for every other snap during the game, taking over for Taylor Decker, the man played really well, admirable football for a start against a pretty solid pass rush in the Bengals. And so I don't know. I think I look at it and I go, no, he's still got he's got more than a chance. And I think it's really solid to say, hey, man, that's a way to show up. You show up against a tough team right off the bat, taking over for Taylor Decker, who's battling that shoulder injury, and you play as well as you did. It's a thing of beauty. It's a thing of beauty, and don't count him out. Don't count him out yet. Josh, don't count him out. If you were here, you could rebuttal, but you're not here. You didn't come to the Council of Elrond, you son of a gun. So that's on you. You can't even argue with me. You will later when you see this and you text me, and that'll be fun, and then we'll talk about it next week. But you're not here right now. Christian, anything to say? The offense, even with Goff's solid performance, with St. Brown, with Laporta, left a lot out on the field. And this is now becoming a little bit of something. This is 2 weeks in a row, at least, where I would say, yeah, the Lions have left a little bit out there on the field. And hopefully that's not something that continues forward. Hopefully it's just this little bit of a flub, because the secondary came through yesterday. 3 picks. The defense came through yesterday. Aidan Hutchinson, again, with another sack. Would have had that safety, but Terrion on the freaking hold. Terrion, I'm sick and tired. I don't even look to this one. Terrion, I'm sick and tired of your bull. Like, let's get it together. Tighten up, Terrion. Tighten up. Because poor Hutch would have had that safety, that sack in the end zone. Man, that'd have been huge. And obviously, he's dealing with the frustration of with the amount of penalties coming from Terrion and the secondary and moments like that where you're like, dude, I'm doing it all. But at the same time, he's just a force to be reckoned with. A bowling ball, a wrecking ball coming through, man. So looking at our defense is shining, which is that now. Sustaining a few injuries yesterday, obviously, with Terrion. Looking at the cornerbacks, no DJ Reed, Rock Yassin. But the defense is picking up, and they're looking better, and we are getting guys back soon enough. Derek Barnes, beautiful play at the end of the game. Way to just clinch that game right at the end. Not that we were ever worried for a second, but guys coming back. Rodrigo's going to be coming back. Aleem McNeil coming back faster. I'm hoping for this game against Kansas City. Boy, wouldn't it be great to see Aleem McNeil out there opposite of Ty Leak, little DJ Reader, get a sack on Patty Mahomes. Be so beautiful. But knowing that we're getting guys back, even as we're losing a few, it's okay, because obviously we got them, and then we've got Tampa Bay, then you've got the bye. So that's a week to heal up. We'll see where the guys are at. Hopefully DJ Reed back sooner than later, because the cornerback room is suffering a little bit. But the defense doing their job, the offense struggling and leaving too much out on the table. And that's in a game in which you're putting up 37. And last week putting up 34. So that's based on the secondary. That's based on the defense in the front line stopping the run, doing their job. And then the offense not converting in a few parts. Not converting on a few points. And again, that's Manu letting Trey Hendrickson through, and then the fumble, and they recover. So I'm not worried. I'm not worried. That's missing Taylor Decker. I think the Lions would have put up 6 more right there. Would have been a 40-plus game. But it's something that I want to see cleaned up. I need to see cleaned up. But let's just take a second to recognize, have you and I thought about Graham Glasgow at all in the last 2-3 weeks? That's good. That's good, because the answer is no. And that's a good thing, even without Frank Ragnow. Now, I know people could point to and say, well, you played Cincinnati, you played Cleveland. Well, Cleveland came into that game as the number 1 defense in the NFL. So, just saying. But we have played some lighter games, some games that you need to win, you should win, you have to win, just because you should. So this game going up against Kansas City, we will see what they do tomorrow night, tonight, as you're watching this, and where they're at. Quite frankly, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to this game. I think the Lions are the better team by far. Now there's no more 4-0 teams. Bills lost yesterday. Everybody's 4-1 at the top dogs. And I think in the NFC, that'd be Philadelphia losing to Denver. That was hilarious. You've got San Francisco. You've got us. And I'm missing one other. I can't think of it off the top of my head. That's okay. One last thing to look for is really what's going to happen with Khalif Raymond. He took that nasty hit on that punt return. And, dude, I just hope he's okay. I want to see him back out there in a couple weeks. Who knows? It's a neck injury. He could be out for a couple. He could be bounced back as fast as Tampa Bay. We'll see. But what's interesting, and you never root for it, but it's going to give TeSlaa the opportunity to shine more, which he does yesterday with the TD. 2 hands. I'm kind of bummed, TeSlaa, that you're supposed to one-hand every single thing for the rest of your life. But obviously he gets that 12-yard touchdown. And that's huge. And that's huge just to get those reps in. Even on special teams, him as a gunner, flying down the field. He makes 2 great plays, drawing the hold on one and the other one, batting that ball back in, getting solid placement. I think on the 2 or the 3 yard line. That's when Hutch would have had that safety sack. Anyways, long and the short of it is, with Khalif out, it's going to give more reps and opportunity to a guy like TeSlaa, who has, to me, shown my man is more than capable. He is more than capable. So when I look at this whole game, if I had to pick one moment, and there's a lot of great moments, that I went to the fridge, I grabbed another beer, I popped that open. And it was a good moment. It was a good GD moment. It had to have been Montgomery on the Wildcat, throw to Brock Wright for the TD.
But the only two for the brave and true come from that Green Dragon.
That's my Green Dragon moment, sponsored by Founders Brewing and the All Day IPA, because I can drink this all day now. All day, coming in at 4.7%. You can just have 1, 2, 3. Don't go crazy. 4. Depends on how much you're spacing it out, and, are we drawing water in between? You got to be smart. Stay hydrated. It's the last hot day. It's going to be the last hot day for the year. Dear God, please be the last hot day. I can't do any more of them. I need it to cool down. I'd like to have a bonfire. That would be enjoyable. And just for my sake, I want to hear it again.
But the only two for the brave and true come from that Green Dragon.
Screw you, Josh. Screw you, Christian. I'll see you guys next week.